Good afternoon, everyone. I thank you for being here today. I'm Guilford County Sheriff Danny H. Rogers, and I'm joined today by Greensboro Police Chief Cameron Afsar. We're here today to discuss the results of a significant narcotics investigation by the Guilford County Narcotics Task Force, Guilford County Street Team Force that concluded on August the 5th. As a result of this collaborative investigation, approximately 25,000 grams of cocaine, 4,000 grams of fentanyl, 453 grams of marijuana were seized, totaling an estimated street value of $650,000. Today, two individuals was arrested, 46-year-old Walter Muhammad and 28-year-old Tashin Carter. After arrest and charged with being felony offenses, including trafficking cocaine and trafficking fentanyl. Both individuals are currently being held at the Guilford County Detention Center in Greensboro without bond. Because of this remains an active investigation, there are no more details that will be discussed today. Reducing fentanyl-related overdoses and deaths is one of the core objectives of the Guilford County Narcotics Task Force. The task force is a collaborative effort between the Guilford County Sheriff's Office, Greensboro Police Department, North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, and the Drug Enforcement Administration. It was established because we recognize that the drug problem is our community is bigger than any one agency and bigger than any one jurisdiction. In just over a year and a half, the task force has seized more than 5,000 pounds of illegal narcotics. To put that into perspective, that's enough narcotics alone weigh more than 2 average passenger vehicles. But I want to spend a moment talking specifically about the fentanyl you see here today. We're seeing firsthand what this drug has done to individuals and their families throughout Guilford County and across the country. When you look at the amount of fentanyl sitting on this table, I want you to understand that it isn't just evidence in a criminal case. This represents a dangerous drug that will never make it into the hands of someone in our community. It represents overdoses that may have been prevented and lives that may have been saved. That's why we do this work. And we are seeing encouraging trends in the areas we're serving by the Guilford County Sheriff's Office. In 2024, our deputies responded to 94 calls for service classified as overdoses. In 2025, the number was 92. So far for 2026, we have responded to 20 overdoses. That's a projected 65% decrease. We're also seeing encouraging trends in violent crime. Violent crimes in Guilford County jurisdiction decreased 24% from 2024 to 2025. Based on the numbers we're seeing so far this year, violent crime is currently projected to be down 35%. Our goal isn't simply to make arrests or count how many grams of drugs we seize. Our goal is to reduce the harm these drugs are causing in Guilford County and protect the people we serve. I want to thank the men and women of the Guilford County Narcotics Task Force for the work that went into this investigation. I also want to thank Chief Afsar and the Greensboro Police Department, North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, and the Guilford County Sheriff's Office Street Team Crime Unit for the continued partnership. And while preventing overdoses and deaths in a major part of this mission is a major part of this mission, the impact of illegal narcotics reaches much further. Chief Afsar is going to talk more about the broader impact and why narcotics enforcement is an important part of reducing crime and improving public safety throughout our community. Chief.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good afternoon. The amount of illegal narcotics that Sheriff Rogers just described, especially the 4,000 grams of fentanyl, is significant. These drugs were intended to find ways into our community, and today, due to the outstanding work of the Guilford County Narcotics Task Force, they will not. I want to start thanking by Sheriff Rogers for his leadership and his continued partnership with the Greensboro Police Department. Sheriff, we appreciate your willingness to work together and your commitment to the safety of this entire community. I also want to recognize the detectives and officers assigned to the Guilford County Narcotics Task Force, including members of the Greensboro Police Department, Guilford County Sheriff's Office, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, and the Drug Enforcement Administration. This seizure did not happen by accident. It represents countless hours of investigative work, intelligence gathering, information sharing, and coordination by people who understand that none of us can do this work alone. We also need to recognize why this matters beyond the drugs that were seized today. There is a very real connection between illegal narcotics, guns, and violence in our communities. Drug trafficking creates money, disputes, and criminal networks that too often result in violence. So when we remove this amount of narcotics from the street and disrupt the people responsible for distributing them, we are doing more than enforcing drug laws. We are working to prevent violence and victimization that so often comes with this kind of activity. Criminal organizations do not care about city limits, county lines, or which badge an officer wears. Our response cannot be limited by those boundaries either. We have to share information, which we do. We have to combine our resources. This is a great example of us doing that. And we have to use the strengths of our local, state, and federal partners to identify the people who are causing the greatest harm to our communities and hold them accountable. Today is an example of exactly what that looks like. Finally, to the detectives, agents, officers who did this work, thank you. Much of what you do happens quietly without recognition, but the result of your work today are very visible. There is a significant amount of poison that will not reach our streets because of you. And our community is safer because of it. So thank you to them specifically, and thank you to the Sheriff's Office and the partnership.
Any questions? You've mentioned a lot in the last year or so about the death by distribution being something that the Sheriff's Office is really going after in terms of people that are using drugs or selling drugs, things like that. Is this part of that, ensuring that death by distribution doesn't happen in the future?
Yes, this is a part of it. This is part of the narcotics projective that we're looking for to make sure that we can prevent that from happening.
Do you expect any more charges related to death by distribution or any further suspects given all of this?
I can't answer that question right now.
Sheriff, the chief is still relatively new to this position.
Yeah.
How have you and the chief have built, or how have you guys built a relationship, and how did that partnership play out in this investigation?
Well, it shows you here that working together as a partnership, and the chief can come up and talk about it as well. We're working together to make sure that we can serve our community as a whole. It's not a power struggle. It's not about one badge or another badge. It's about making sure that we're fighting for the same cause and protecting our community.
I was going to ask, what message does this send to people that are going to try and drug traffic in Guilford County?
Well, we're believing that the message is strong, but people are hard-headed. They will still come through, and we're still getting.
What else goes into this investigation other than there's a lot of partnership that has to happen, but I'm sure this didn't just happen overnight. So, what goes into that?
A lot of man hours. A lot of hours going into the investigation, a lot of setting up and doing things need to be done. So let's say a lot of hours, a lot of tiring hours that our detectives, the team worked together, all the agencies that worked together for the last several weeks, putting things together, a month putting things together.
And are you able to quantify, I know you mentioned the grams, but for someone that doesn't use narcotics, what does it actually mean? Like, how much damage could that do to the community?
Well, we believe and know that the damage it would do for the community. You want to come up and talk? Let me turn it over to the captain real quick.
How y'all doing? I'm Captain Cook with the Special Operations Division. So an amount of 4,000 grams of fentanyl such as this could be broke down over and over again. What happens is somebody will get a kilo, they'll sell a half a kilo to somebody, they'll cut it with some type of poison, some type of chemical that don't need to be ingested in your body, and it will produce another kilo. So that kilo could turn into 5 or 6 kilos, just one. A user on the streets usually uses a gram of fentanyl. So if you have what you have here and you times it by a gram, that's how many people it affects. And with the overdoses that we've seen throughout the county in the last several years, that's a great effect of our community. I think the task force with the narcotics they took off the streets since January 2025, it has stopped a lot of overdoses throughout our county.
This never ends, does it?
It does not. It does not end, but we're going to do everything we can to slow it down the best we can.
Do you feel like you made a pretty significant dent in the current problem?
I think we did. I think throughout since January of 2025, it's a significant amount of narcotics have been taken off the streets. And that not only hurts locally here, the drug dealers, but it also hurts the cartels that are losing quite a bit of money for not being able to get it through to us.
The synergy of two departments working together, that's quite unusual and probably quite difficult to achieve.
It is unusual, but it's not quite difficult. Our agencies have had a good partnership for quite some time. Their officers work in our division. We work with them. It is a very good partnership.
Do you anticipate more to come? I'm so sorry. Do you anticipate more to come?
You never know. My guys won't stop working. So, yes, we will be taking more narcotics off the streets. It's just what risk people want to take in Guilford County.
What does this say about the scale of drug trafficking here in Guilford County?
Narcotics are up throughout the nation, as everyone's seen. But I believe that this task force has done a great job. I would say better than any task force I've ever met by taking narcotics off. And when they do that, a lot of people work 8 to 5. They do an 8 to 5 job. Some law enforcement officers work 12-hour shifts. These guys will be up 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning working 3, 4, 5 nights a week away from their families. And they're not doing this because it's a job. They're doing this because they truly believe that this is going to make the community safe and it's going to help their kids and generations to come. So they're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it for the community. And that's why they're spending this many hours in hard work.
So we cannot thank our partners enough for what has happened and what's going on. This is an example of what we will do and what we are going to do. Come through our part of the state, Guilford County, the message has been sent clearly. We will not play with it. We will definitely stop with all we can. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day.